you guys to Queensroots. I am your spiritual and metaphysical teacher, Queen Mother, and here on this channel I guide you along your spiritual journey to help you reconnect with who you really are and how to help you learn how to use those metaphysical tools to co-create the life that you want to live. Now, in today's topic, you guys, I have been dying to share this story with you, and it's going to be, I want to give you the background to my version of my twin flame union story, and that way when you get the opportunity, because you will see the next video of me and my twin flame together, we're going to do a video together. But I wanted to give you my background story, my information before I bring him on, and then that way I'm not like spending a whole hour talking between the two of us. You can kind of get a better understanding of our union and how I came to become aware and understanding of a twin flame journey and all of that good stuff. Okay, but before we get started, I want to show you guys, if you haven't checked out the apothecary Spirits and Souls, we have a twin flame candle, excuse me, we have a twin flame ritual candle called Mirror Me. I'll probably put a picture up there, but Mirror Me is a twin flame candle that works with healing the twin flames, helping you along your twin flame journey, offering healing for each of the twin flames, helping you, if you are on it, helping you to call in that twin flame energy, and just overall just helping you guys be in a better and positive space together. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the website Spirits and Souls, and also follow me on my Instagram at Spirit Souls, so that way you can be up to date whenever I post all about our sales, because we have sales a lot and I post them there on my Instagram. So if you don't want to pay full price for this baby, go ahead, make sure you head on over to IG and follow me, so that way you can get the information for the sales. Now, for this candle in particular, we're going to do a candle code. I want to list the code, a sale for this video, and we're going to list the code in the description bar, so you can purchase this candle at its own sale if you are interested in the twin flame candle. Now, you guys, I want to tell you all about my twin flame journey, and I kind of have to hurry up because I have to get to the store, because it's like 9:41, you guys, and I want some spaghetti, and I've been denying myself spaghetti for like the last week, and I really want to eat some spaghetti tonight, so I have to hurry up and get to the store before it closes. We're gonna hurry up and do this really quickly. All right, now, where do I start? So I came into union with my twin flame in the year of 2019. We came into union on September 3rd of 2019. Now, prior to that, you guys, this union was meant to come. I'd been in a relationship, I had been in a 5 or 6 year long-term relationship with someone that my kid's father, that we've known each other since we were about 15 or 16, and we've been playing a little dance for a while, and then we were in a relationship, and we're constantly like breaking up and then getting back together, breaking up and get back together. In the process we conceived some kids in the process, so but in 2019 I came into that year knowing that something was going to happen. I had this very strong urgency, like this sense of there's something more out there for me, this can't be it. Like, I knew without knowing. Like, I had this oh my god, you guys, that feeling was so intense of knowing like there's something coming. So in that year, my significant baby father and I had been back and forth in the situationships. So that year, in the beginning of the year, I told him, I was like, listen, we're done, we are done. Like, I can't do this anymore. I know something is coming. So I began to, several things happened, because this was the year of my awakening. So I was going through my awakening spiritually. My gifts were coming back to me, they were being awakened. I was going through a spiritual rebirth. I was really going through a rebirth. About July or August, I met another guy. I had these dreams. I was having like dream. So I had this dream, and I still had this sense of urgency that I was going to meet this guy. And I met this guy, and I saw how I was going to meet him. I saw how tall he was going to be, and I saw how I was going to feel about him, but I knew that it wasn't going to work. So on this particular day, you guys, I had nothing to do, but in this particular day, I got I wasn't driving at the time, so I went and got an Uber, and I went to a business class. I think I went to a business class downtown. I had a business meeting, and I went down to this business meeting, and I knew, like, my first Uber driver was like a woman, and I was like, I know I'm supposed to meet somebody today. Like, I'm supposed to meet somebody. Like, I knew it, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? My meeting had ended early. I was like, well, I can walk around downtown, but then I was like, you know what, let me just go home. If I'm supposed to meet someone, I'm not going to force it. I'm going to meet them. So I got in, I called an Uber, and so was this guy that came. Now, this guy is just not my twin flame, but he led up to the twin flame because I started having dreams of it. So when I met this guy, he and I dated very, very briefly for like maybe so 2 months. We dated for 2 months, and I had a dream of how I was going to meet him, but it did not work with him. A lot of things, you guys, I'm not going to go into details about this part, but when I say spirit came in and shook my mother freaking life up, y'all, shit was happening that I had, like, it was some crazy shit out of a movie that was happening to me, and I knew it. Like, my world was being turned upside down. I was like devastated. I didn't know what to do. I was like, how could I be so wrong about this? Because I thought maybe this was the person, but I got to know it wasn't him. I was being shown my gifts, and it was like spirit used him to shake up my life, you guys, because had it not been shaken up, I probably would not have met my twin. Now, my life had been turned upside down, you guys, like drastically. I didn't have like a car. I could barely pay and take care of myself. I didn't have a job. I was trying to find a job. I had 2 little kids. Of course, my significant baby daddy didn't want anything to do with me. We had a lot of stuff going on. It was a lot, y'all. It was bad. It had gotten so freaking bad. So I was praying and crying and trying to figure it out, but I was happy about the shakeup. Now, it sounds crazy. Like, I know I'm saying it's crazy because the way it unfolded was only spirit. Like, it was only spirit, the way that it unfolded. But I felt so relieved when it did. I was just like, although I am going through physical hell right now, I felt at peace. I felt so happy. I didn't know how I was going to make ends meet. I didn't know how I was going to do a lot of stuff, but I was at peace, and I still felt this strong urgency of something more was coming. Now, I am from Savannah, Georgia. If you don't know, I relocated to Texas this year, and that is going to be a part of my story. But my twin flame and I came into union during hurricane. I don't know what hurricane it was. If I figure it out, I'll put it down at the bottom. So during this time frame, Savannah, Georgia was getting ready to go through a hurricane, and like, we have been going through, now I lived in Savannah like all my life, and I had only been through like 1 major hurricane where we had to evacuate. So this year, particularly when I had my daughter, we was like evacuating every day going year. So this particular time, I was just really tired. My mom was like, we need to evacuate. I was like, I'm not evacuating. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing anything. I don't want to go. I'm not doing shit. Like, I was like, we'll tough it out. It's not worth me going. But you guys, the night before that happened, like this, now I started to, before this happened, I started to go to bed, and I was praying a lot, and I was just like, I started journaling because it was getting, my dreams were getting more intense. I was dreaming of this person. I could feel it, y'all. It was just like somebody was sucking the breath out of me. That's just how heavy that urge that something was coming, the feeling that something better was coming, that someone was coming. I knew it. I just knew it. So in this particular instance, my mom was like, we're going to evacuate. You need to come evacuate with us. You guys, I was like, no, I'm not going to evacuate. So the night before, I think 2 days prior, I had a dream. I had a dream that I had come into union with my twin flame during the evacuation. Now, the way your dream world works, it typically uses somebody else that you may know or you didn't know. So it wasn't like someone I did not know. Now, in this dream, I don't think I ever told my twin this dream. I think I told him, but I didn't really tell him. So in this dream, I had a dream. I could vividly see myself going to this restaurant. We were with this crowd of people we didn't know, and I was getting frustrated because I had my kids, and I was like, let's just go back on the bus. And I walked outside to go get on the bus, like the charter bus, and I turned around, like where I was at, I just paused and I turned around, and my twin flame came to me in my dream, and he looked at me and he called my name and he said, I know you. And I was like, no you don't. So he said, come with me, and I didn't want to listen. So I think in that dream, like I saw the bus clear as day. This is before knowing anything was going to happen. I saw the bus clear as day. I saw everything. So I turned around and I was like, Ma, I think I should go with him. And she was like, no, you're gonna come get on the bus with us. And I was like, I can't leave with you. So dream world. So fast forward, I think I did leave with him. I did. He pulled out his hand and I took his hand. And you guys, it's been like a year or so since I'm trying to remember this, because this is like a year to the day since I've met my twin. All right, so I took his hand and we walked off, and we were walking through this weird hallway or whatever. You guys, he said something to me, and I think I was afraid or something, and he was like, don't worry, I got you. And then the dream cut to like a little sex dream, but you know, the energy in that sex dream was intense. And I'm pretty sure you guys have had sex dreams before. If you're a kid, you know, you just kind of fast forward 10 seconds past this part. But the energy in the sex dream, you know, it's typically like, you know, you typically wake up, you're like, oh, okay, I had a sex dream. You know, might be a little aroused, maybe think about the person you had a sex dream about, whatever case. Sex dreams are never always what you're thinking them of. In this case, it was the energy that I felt from that dream. The energy, you guys, was enough for me to wake up. So I woke up and I just remember, I wrote it down, and I remembered that term. He was like, I got you. And I could see his body build. I could see everything like of this person. I couldn't really see his face at this point, but I could see his energy. I could see him differently. So I woke up and I started thinking, maybe I should go on this thing. So I asked my mom, so how are we evacuating? My mom is she does a lot of things, you guys, but my mom does tour buses. She drives tour buses in her spare time, part-time or whatever, for extra money. So she says, come with me, I'm going to get a free hotel, I'm doing a trip for this evacuation, you can evacuate with me, you can ride on the bus, the tour bus with me, the charter bus with me, and you'll stay in a room with me. You and the girls will, you know, we'll be fine, because the company she's chartering for is paying for everything. So she was like, you can just evacuate with me. Now, you guys, when she said charter bus, that dream was like, boop, boop, boop. I remembered it, and I was like, oh my God, what if I want to meet my guy, this man? Now, at this time, I did not know it was a twin flame, you guys. I just thought like, I'm gonna meet the man of my life. I'm gonna meet this man of my dreams. Like, this is it. This must be what I was feeling. And so I pulled some cards to see if this is what I should go, if I was gonna meet this person. Now, honestly, I was thinking it was a different person. That's why I'm saying I did not know this was a twin flame union at the time. I was thinking this was a complete different person. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna meet this person. I'm going up to this person where they live at, because we were going to Atlanta, and where I met this person, we were in Atlanta, and the person who I thought I was going to meet was in Atlanta. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be perfect. So I pulled some cards, and yet my cards confirmed that I should go. Now, I still didn't want to go, but it confirmed that I should go. So I said, okay, Mom, I'm going to go with you. So we got on this bus. Now, I signed up for a dating app prior to. I had been talking to guys on this dating app off and on, but I really had not connected with anyone. So you guys, this might be pretty lengthy, but you guys, so on the dating app, I connected with a couple of guys. So I was on my way up, I met this one guy, and I was talking to him, but it was like that basic shit, like, how are you, what are you doing, you know, if you ever been on dating apps, it's so bump. But this particular guy, like, I said, hey, you know, whatever. I think I responded to him. I responded to a couple of guys. See, what I had to do is, I love dating black. I'm pro black love. Not saying anything about anybody else, but I love black men. So on dating sites, to get the algorithms to show me black men, you have to like every freaking black man, because then it starts changing it to only showing you black men. So that's what I had to do. So this particular person, when I saw my twins page, I saw it and I almost hit the X. I did not tell him this, guys, so if he watches this, he's gonna freaking know. I almost hit that X, but I was like, I'll just give it a try. I just like it, you know, it's whatever. Just gotta get the black man. I wasn't expecting to talk to him. So a lot of people, when they see my profiles, they think it's a catfish, because they're like, oh my gosh, she's so freaking beautiful, how can she really be on the site, you know, bullshit like that. But so anyway, I started talking to this other guy on the chat, and we had talked. I think I remember messaging my twin flame like once on the road up there, but you guys, I had it in my head that I was going to be meeting a different man on this trip. So, you know, I made sure the girl was cute. You know, I made sure, even though my mama had us traveling with a rehab facility for drugs and hard lives and stuff like that, so it was kind of hard being on that bus. So I was like, well, my man ain't on this damn bus. But we stopped at a gas station. I remember coming back from the gas station and I got on a bus and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. So I started talking to this other guy, and he and I chatted pretty much like the entire night. And he was in my city. We talked a couple of times. We were supposed to be meeting up when we got back from the hurricane. So we talked. So the next day, I think he just pretty much ghosted me. He didn't reply back or anything. So I was like, well, you know what? Fuck this app. I'm about to delete this. Okay. But then I realized during the course of being, you know, in where we were, being the course of doing like all the stuff that we were doing, I forgot to reply back to a couple of messages. So, which is, I'm very infamous for, you guys. People text me and I forget to reply. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just reply to this, whoever replies, but I'm gonna delete this app when I get back home. I'm deleting this app. I wanna use the, you know, I wanna talk to whoever I'm gonna talk to on the bus ride home, but I'm deleting the app. So on the way home, we got on the bus, we got everybody on the bus, we made another stop at the gas station again. So this time at the gas station that we were at, we went inside, and you know, I made sure I was cute, right? So I was like, okay, the trip is coming. This trip is coming to the end. Spirit told me I was gonna meet this man on this trip. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm like, well, damn, did I waste my time? I could have really stayed home. I was like, well, shit, like, what is going on? I'm supposed to be meeting the man of my dreams on this trip. Like, I know something was supposed to be happening on this trip. So we were sitting in this thing. This is where the dream came into place. Remember when I told you in my dream, I could see that I was in a restaurant, I was getting frustrated, and I got up and I went back to the bus. In this dream, I was in a restaurant, I was frustrated. I didn't know at the time the restaurant was Subway, but I was frustrated because my kids, it was like too many people in and out the restaurant. My kids was making a mess, and I just wanted to get back on the bus. So we went and got back on the bus, and we were taking our slow times. Pretty much people was waiting for us, but we got back on the bus. On our way getting back to the bus, I got a message from my twin, and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to reply back to this dude. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna message him back. So I messaged him. You guys, as I was getting on the bus, he messaged me. And so I got on the bus and I checked the message and I started talking to him. So we were talking and chatting, and we talked the entire ride home. And then I was like, you know, I'm sorry, I just got busy because of the hurricane. I didn't mean to like not talk to you, you know, whatever. So I got home, we got settled in, and I think at this point we were still chatting. So we chatted for like a good 24 hours, and at this point we exchanged numbers and started texting each other. And he was like, I wanted to call and talk to you. So he called and talked to me. I'm not gonna put this part out because this is like too much of our business, but his voice wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. But we've already talked about this, so I don't have to be like self-conscious about it. But anyway, so we talked on the phone, and y'all, when I said I have a list of the things that I wanted in my partner, and the things that not only that I wanted in my partner, I'm a strong believer when you are trying to manifest a mate, that everything that you write on that list, you have to do that stuff. You have to be in those fields. You have to be putting up the same energy, because likes attract likes. You're going to manifest and attract who you are. And so when I wrote all of this stuff, I wrote down all of my interests. I wrote down what I wanted in a man, what I wanted, not in a man, in a partner. You guys, I use this word partner. That was the one word, partner. I used the word. You guys, so still getting to know him, I'm like, oh my god, we have so much in common. The way the cities that we grew up in, we had the way that we were raised. Some things were different. A lot of our hobbies were the same. Our energy, we just clicked, like white on rice. So I still, not knowing this was a twin flame, not knowing anything, we met. So I think, you guys, I'm a little bit of an aggressor. He was taking too long to ask me out, and I'm like, listen, dude, we got so much in common, we want the same things. And you guys, he used the term partner. He was looking for a partner. He wanted a partner. He wanted a wife who was strong. He wanted this, he wanted this, he wanted this. You guys, he was damn near describing my freaking self. Okay, so a partner is when we talked about like relationships and things like that, he talked about it as a partnership, and that is the word that I had written on my list that he would have never known about. So I'm like in awe, and I'm like, I want to meet this man. I want to see him face to face. We talked for about 2 weeks, and I was like, I want to see him now. So I finally was like, yo, you're not gonna ask me out? What's taking you so long? And he was like, I just want to get to talk to you, to know you, to see if I'm comfortable, to see if it's even worth me taking you out. So I was like, I think we're pretty much past that. We're writing like damn near 5-page paragraphs to each other. We're like talking about our life goals. We're doing all this stuff. I would like to meet in person. We were talking on the phone for like hours. I wanted to meet in person. So we met. He scheduled a date for me, and you guys, when I say this is still not knowing this is a twin flame. So when I say he listened to me, that was one of my biggest things. He listened to me, he paid attention, he was a caregiver, he was everything I freaking wanted. I mentioned in passing that I wanted to learn archery. That was one of the sports that I really was interested in, and I wanted to do it. So first date came. I remember I told you I wasn't driving at the time. I didn't have my car. So first day came, and he was like, I want to meet you. He was like, I want to take you out. I got a whole date planned for us. I want to pick you up. And you guys, I was like, oh baby, you're not picking me up. You're not gonna know where I live at. 1, 2, I don't know you. 3, I don't know if I want to get in the car with you. I don't want to do that. So I was driving, I think I was driving my mom's car, and I asked him, I was like, well shit, I don't feel like having to go borrow anybody's car. I don't feel like paying for no Uber to go to no damn pooler, because this way he wanted to take me was the pooler, and it was like 30 minutes away, and I was like, I don't want to do that, that's just too much. So I was like, you know what, driving home, Spirit was like, let him pick you up. So I was like, are you sure? And he was like, Spirit was like, yes, let him pick you up. So I asked him, I said, why do you want to pick me up to go to on the date? And he says to me, because that's what you do as a gentleman, I'm supposed to pick you up. So I was like, you know what, baby, I'm not gonna stand in my way. I'm not gonna get in my own way. Homeboy wanna pick me up, he's gonna pick me up. Now, you guys remember, I don't know this is a twin flame yet, okay? He picks me up, and my best friend lives upstairs from me. So when on the way, whenever I go on dates, I always text one person between my sisters and a friend, my address, where I'm going, my location, who I'm with, the picture of the person. So if something ever freaking happens to me, they know how to find me. One person's going to figure out, yeah, this is where she went, this is what time she went. And I usually give everybody a time frame, like if I don't text you or call you by this time, you need to set up the house for me, okay? So you guys, I ran to my best friend's house, and I was like, yo, take a picture of his license plate. Well, I was getting ready, I finished getting dressed at her house, and I was like, take a picture of his license plate when you get here, because this was new. This was so new, and it was so, you guys, I'm so guarded, and I'm so like non-trusting with people. And I was like, just take a picture of his license plate. I don't know who this dude is or whatever. So I'm not gonna get into everything because I want us to be able to talk about it together. So we went on this date. The date was magical between the two of us. Like, I got in his car, excuse me, he was such a gentleman. We went to this date. The date was simple in a sense, but it meant everything to me. I told him that I loved to drink his smoothies. I'm a smoothie girl. And I told him that I love archery. So he took me to Smoothie King, and then he took me out to an archery class where we learned how to do archery, and we was out there for about a good hour or 2. Now what he didn't do is he didn't feed you, girl. And I had to just say this to him today. I was like, you did not feed me. I didn't eat the whole day because I thought we were going to go eat. And he was like, well, I had to go to work. It was a short time frame. So he was like, it was a really quick date, and I had to go to work that day, and I didn't know you wanted to eat. So you guys, he fed me the next day. So several things happened, and we went back home. I think we ended up getting something to eat. He paid for my food, or did I pay for my food? I can't remember. We went back home, and you guys, he like checked on me. He was like, hey, how are you doing? Did you enjoy our date? You know, I was nervous, you was nervous. We talked like the entire night, and I was like, I want to see you tomorrow. And he was cute. He was like, well, can we give it some time, because I want to make sure that I can do another date for you, and I want to do something extravagant for you. And I was like, listen, we can come, we can do the extravagant. I'm all about extravagant. You know, your girl, you don't know, but your girl likes to spend money. She is very, very extravagant, you know, inexperienced, is not on bullshit stuff. So he says, I was like, listen, you can just come over, we can just sit and talk, we can play some card games, whatever you want to do. We don't have to do something big and extravagant. From this point, like, you guys, he came over and we sat and we talked, and it was like in-person talking. The energy between us, I'm gonna stop the story there. The energy between us was freaking intoxicating. It was like, I did not want to be away from it. Like, I did not want to be away from him. And this, y'all, we hadn't kissed, we hadn't had sex, we didn't do anything. Like, this was just sitting and in conversation. And I never personally had anything like that when dating a guy. I usually don't want to be bothered the next couple of days after meeting somebody, you know. But this was like literally me being like, you're the one. And so as I started talking to him, he said, back on our first date, he was like, I got you, girl. Y'all, he kept saying, I got you, I got you, I got you. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, this is the man for my dreams. This is it. And I still don't know about the Twinflame. I don't know anything about Twinflame unions. I don't know. So I'm like, oh my God, this is the man for my dreams. So we talk, and the energy between us is just so mesmerizing. It is just so peaceful. Like, y'all, we would just look at each other and we didn't have to talk. We had so much in common. It felt like time for us was moving incredibly fast, yet incredibly slow. It was like time went around us, stopped around, because we'll be like, oh my God, it's been an hour already, or it's been 5 or 6 hours and you've only been here, and I feel like you just got here, you guys. So through our interactions and our dating, we had, it's a little bit too much information for y'all, but when we did have sex, it was like a double confirmation. And I still did not know about twin flames, okay? Have sex, it was the same energy. That's what made me understand that it was like confirmation. I have never ever had a vision where I felt energy to the sense that it manifested into my real life. So it's like, usually if I have a vision, it's typically happens, but it never unfolds the way it did. So when we did have sex, y'all, that energy was freaking intense. It was unbelievable. It was something I have never ever like, not the sex, the energy between the two of us. Listen to what I'm saying. Not the sex, the energy between us was crazy. It was damn near like, I'm not gonna tell y'all too much, but it was like, I feel, y'all, it was almost like I was with myself. And that's when certain things started clicking to me. I was like, we have too much in common. And he will always say to me, I know you from somewhere. I don't know how I know you. We went over, I think we went over like briefly how we could have possibly, we had times where we were close to each other, not knowing we were close to each other, but his whole thing was, I know you. And all I could do was smile, because at this point, I think it was about 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks into us being together without, like, after we had sex or something. And I was just looking at him and I was just smiling. And he was just like, why do you look at me that way? And I was like, you just don't know. And I was too afraid to really tell him, because we hadn't really had conversations about the occult, or we haven't had any conversations about spirituality. We did, but we didn't. Not in a sense of the, you know, thinking about twin flames or things like that. So I really didn't know like how he felt. So I was trying to gauge it by little questions here and there without freaking him out. And finally I just told him, I was like, listen, we're twin flames. And he was like, what do you know? And at this point, you guys, I had started to research what a twin flame was, why I was feeling like this, what it was. And I was like, oh my God, this is my twin flame. And I would tell him, I was like, listen, you are a spitting image of me. Like, it's crazy how much you and I are the same. You guys, the synchronicities around us was crazy. Like, I would pick up the phone to call. I would pick up my phone. Like, I'll be thinking about him and he'll call me. Or vice versa. I'll be thinking about him and I'll get ready to call him and he's like, I was literally just picking up my phone to call you. We've had instances where you guys, I remember, okay, one time we're big wine drinkers. So one time I went to the store and I was like, I'm gonna buy us some wine, because when he came over to my house, he always brought something. He did not come empty-handed. He came with a gift of some kind. If it was something that's simple, like me, I said one time I never had wine and cheesecake before, not together, even though those were my two favorite things. I never had them together. He came and brought wine and cheesecake. If I said this or that, like, he was very attentive and he brought stuff with him. So in this instance, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to beat him to the punch. I want to buy the wine. So I'm in the store and I'm picking up wine bottles. And it was one particular bottle that I wanted to get, but I was like, I'm not going to get that bottle. I went and got the champagne, because you know your girl likes champagne. So I got me some champagne. I was like, you know, we're going to try something different. You guys, when he came over that evening to my home, why was he carrying the bottle of wine that I had put back? And it wasn't it was not some normal, like, you know, how Barefoot or those general brands. This was a very specific, I don't remember the name right now. If I see the bottle, I can tell you. A very specific wine that I drank that I did not tell him about. He brought that wine, and it was the wine I picked up and I put back. And all I could do when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? We had plenty of moments where we just be looking at each other, we were like, what the fuck? Like, it got down to the point we would be eating the same meals at the same time. Like, I'll call him and I'll be eating lunch and I'm like, what you doing? He's like, I'm eating lunch. Well, what you eating? We're both eating the same shit. And it's just like, what the fuck? Or, you know, like, we had many moments like that. And so eventually I was like, listen, he always said, I feel like I know you. And eventually I got to the point, I was like, listen, we are twin flames, and that's what it is. Now I always say, listen, we came into union, this is what it is. And then as we started getting deeper and deeper into our union, we started to like understand, like, these are certain lessons that I went through that he had just started to go through. These are certain things that I had went through that we had went through at the same time. There are certain things that he needed to improve and work on and heal through that he wasn't able to see until I was able to kind of help him unsee it that way. We have been in the same type of relationship with the same type of freaking people. The only difference is I had kids, he did not. You know, we have been in the same type of roles. We have been in the same type of fields. We went to school for the same type of stuff initially. It was just like, oh my God. Like, I started getting to the point, you all, I want to sound crazy with this, and I really am going to sound crazy. I was like, what if this is like an episode of Lifetime or some shit, and this man did all this research on me and he's like stalking me and he like knows all this stuff about me? But then some stuff I was like, he wouldn't have known that I knew this. Like, from simple things like we both taught ourselves how to swim, you know, in the Black community. How many kids are teaching themselves how to swim? You know, the simple stuff. I was like, there's no way in the world he would have known any of this stuff. And I didn't like say stuff first and then he said it. The connection between us was intoxicating. We did not want to be apart from each other. We were like this. The energy between us, you guys, sex was like off the chart. But I started to understand, like, this is not, I got to the point, like, if I'm not in a relationship with you physically, I am okay with that, because you're never going to leave my life. And I was like, I need to be with you, you need to be with me. And we had already decided, if we get together, my camera's getting ready to die, if we get together romantically, or if we don't get together romantically, that we understood that we were going to stay in a capacity where we were going to be involved with each other's life. We were so helpful to one another. We were, you guys, it was like, who I am, it felt so good, because I was healing. I was going through an awakening process. So while I'm going through all of this, I'm talking to him about it. He has no freaking clue what I'm talking about, but he's understanding me. So while I'm saying all these things, I felt open. I feel like I can do all these things. I can say all these things with him and to him, and he got me. So during this time frame, like, things were manifesting for me quickly. things were happening for me quickly. Like we were like swapping energy consistently. The energy between us, you know, when it came to doing like magic and stuff, it was just, he wasn't always aware of it, but it was informative to him. It was, you guys, it was just divine. Like, this is my dude. This is my dude. So I got to like work on myself healing, and my biggest thing was what I poured into other people. I always felt like I'm pouring into other people. I always felt like I give to other people. I do so much for other people that no one was giving it back to me, and I felt like my cup was freaking dry as hell, and I didn't know how to get myself back together. So the things that I normally would give to people, this man was pouring it back into me. You know, it was like my cup was like overflowing because I was being replenished. It was literally, my energy was being replenished. Now I'm going to leave the story right there because I want, my camera's getting ready to end, but I want him to come in. I want to kind of pick up from this part because we do not stay in the same state anymore. I relocated, and we are going through a period of separation, and we had a few tests, and I want to talk about that in another video with you guys. But I'm going to go to the grocery store first, and then I want to come back and do a separate video with you. Now, in love and light, you guys, if you are going through a twin flame journey and you understand what I'm saying, comment down below. I'll get back into more of it, and when we get to meet him, we'll get to talk about it a little bit more in depth from his perspective of all of it, and then how we are operating now as a twin flame that's not together romantically and not together in the same states or cities. Okay, all right, in love and light, I love you guys. Bye.